Oh no. Oh, my earring. I love these earrings, but this one is broken. Like the spring in it just doesn't work. It just flew out of my ear. Oh. It's just kind of like a balancing act. I just have to not move my head too much, which is hard. That's fine. I'll be a little less animated today. It might be kind of tough though because I'm talking about physical media, which I'm very passionate about. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you couldn't tell, I am the Antichrist. I am Satan's favorite daughter, obviously. And typically I talk about horror movies. I'm usually doing that over on my Haunted Hippie channel, but this here is my hobby channel. You could also consider it my physical media / travel channel because that makes up the bulk of the content here. I haven't done an anti-haul in so long though. If you're new, I have a Poshmark where I list all the physical media that I get rid of. People send me a ton of stuff, which I'm super grateful for, but that often means that I have upgrades or I have doubles of things. So I do consider myself a little bit of like a physical media redistribution center. And today I have some books because I recently did my 2024 horror recap of books that I read, and I'm not holding on to several of those. So let's do that first. Then I'll get into all the DVDs and then the Blu-rays. There's some really, really good stuff today. Like this anti-haul, the quality, it's kind of unmatched to a lot of the ones I've done in the past. Some good franchise stuff, a few non-horror classics. But let's just start with the books. First up, I'm getting rid of Joyland by Stephen King. This is a perfectly enjoyable book. You'll probably get through it in less than a week. It's just an easy little read. I recently did rank it almost at dead last in my 2024 ranking, but don't let that deter you. It's still like a 3-star book. Next up, we have Junji Ito's Fragments of Horror. This book's imagery is amazing. I already showed off some of it in my ranking. Just truly unreal stuff. This book was definitely worth reading just for the images, but it's not one that I would crack into again because I just felt like the stories themselves were a little bit weak. Also, most of these I actually do want to hold on to, but I'm moving soon and I just have like no more space. I have no more storage left in my current living situation, so I can't be too precious about the stuff that I'm holding on to. Including, unfortunately, Bruce Campbell's memoir, his celebrity memoir. If Chins Could Kill was just not really a satisfactory reading experience for me. I got through the first couple chapters and by that point he was still talking about all the shenanigans he got up to in his childhood. And I just was like, this is not what I'm interested about your life, Bruce. I just was flipping through randomly because I didn't finish this book, but there's a picture of this bar called Residuals. My friend actually used to live right near Residuals in North Hollywood, so we have been there. I have been drunk in this bar, but it's just like even the pictures are kind of low quality. They're black and white and they're really small. I think you can find most of these images on the internet, but this book came out in like 97 or something, so this probably seemed a lot more exciting and interesting at that time. But because most of the interesting stuff in this book can be found online and my earring again! This might not work out. That's tough. I'm gonna leave it out for now because I need to try to keep it in while I do my vampire ranking. That's right, over on the Haunted Hippie channel, I'm about to shoot my top 10 vampire movie list. But anyway, the things that you would not find readily on the internet, like all the stories of his childhood, they're just not that interesting. He talked a lot about the toys that they played with and the rules that he and his brothers used to govern themselves. And sure, yeah, that informs how he ended up working with Sam Raimi later and Robert Tappert and kind of their boys club. I really wish that he would write another memoir. I think it's about time. It's been almost 30 years since this one came out, so I feel like we're due because his career has just changed a lot since the 90s. Anyway, enough on that one. My god. Next up we have Horror Store. This one was middle tier in my ranking. I actually quite enjoyed this one. It's Grady Hendrix, who is not necessarily for me. He writes at a really fast pace, and I prefer to kind of have time to digest interesting details. This just goes rapid fire, so I felt like the reading level was a little bit young for me. I really like the look of it. I think that it's really unique and it was a good story, so it's worth reading. Finally, for the books, we have Stephen King's Desperation, and I did indeed take off the outer slipcover. I think it's really ugly. I don't know what to tell you. Then I was looking online and I was kind of having regrets because I was seeing these first editions with the slipcover selling for like $125 and I was like, oh hey, what have I done? But then I saw that most people are selling their first editions for like $10, so I don't know what those people are doing, if you know any info about that, but I'm not going to be selling mine for more than $10, I can tell you that. That does it for all 5 of the books that I am going to be selling. Next up, let's get into the DVDs. First up, we've got this full screen edition of Queen of the Damned. This is a movie that I don't actually have an upgrade for yet, but I'm assuming that I'll find one eventually. I found this one at a Goodwill, so it is decently used. It plays perfectly fine though, I promise. I just didn't end up liking this movie very much, so spoilers, it did not make my top 10 vampire movie list. I'll be going more in depth on this in my January recap. Next up, we've We've got Mean Girls. I forget how I came upon this DVD. This might have been from my original collection actually, but there are a ton of special features on this one that are definitely worth checking out. There are a bunch of different featurettes. They've got, you know, the gag reel, the bloopers, all that super fun stuff that was always on these special editions of early 2000s DVDs. Bit of a lost art form, obviously, but they're all right here. Up next, we have some major blockbuster franchise stuff that I'm getting rid of, and it pains me a little bit, but it needs to be done because I was recently sent some pretty cool upgrades for these things. First up, we have this Back to the Future trilogy set. This is the 30th anniversary collector's edition, so this came out in 2015, and at that time, you got an all-new bonus disc. So there are a ton of special features on this one. You get a 6-part documentary, The Physics of Back to the Future, deleted scenes, Michael J. Fox Q&A, 7 archival featurettes, behind-the-scenes footage, music videos, audio commentaries, Back to the Future, The Ride, and much more. Then on the all-new bonus disc, there's Doc Brown Saves the World. He reprises his role as Doc Brown in an all-new short film, Out of Time, Restoring the DeLorean. Oh, that's a look at the 2012 restoration of the most iconic car in film history, and that one I actually have posed with at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery because I went to a screening there. There's a 9-part retrospective documentary from 2009 on the trilogy's legacy. Holy shit. Back to the Future, the animated series. Should I be getting rid of this? What even? And then there are 2015 commercials, the Jaws 19 trailer, and the hoverboard commercial. I feel like I need to double check on the copy that I was recently sent, but the copy that I was sent was quite a bit newer, so I just was kind of like assuming that it had all of this on it. We'll see. Also, is it too distracting that I'm only in one earring? Fine, I'll try again. Okay, it's back in. Can't promise it's gonna stay there. But now, would you believe I have another collection of Back to the Future for you. This is a sleeved DVD set, and this also has over 10 hours of special features. And I remember that I decided to hold on to one of these when I found the other one, because when I read all the special features, they all sounded completely different. But the thing is, I don't know which of these are part of like the, 6-part documentary, the 9-part documentary. I don't know. If you have a ginormous Back to the Future collection already, then maybe you already have both of these. But if not, I haven't come upon these anywhere else. I bet it's really hard to keep track of all the Back to the Future collectibles at this point. I have 2 more DVDs to share with you. First up, we have the original Scream. This is one of the OG DVDs, and as you can see, there are some special features there. I was going to hold on to this, and then I just realized that that was kind of ridiculous, because I believe that I have the first movie on the 25th anniversary 4K, so of course that's gonna have all the special features, and I just wouldn't watch it on this medium ever again. I also have the VHS version of the original Scream, so if I'm gonna go for a nostalgia watch, I probably would go for the worst medium ever, VHS, as opposed to DVD, because at this point my collection is just so out of control, and I don't think I'd miss this. People have tried to tell me that I would. Like, I'll get random comments on some of the more popular videos on this channel, or some of my anti-haul videos that are like, you're gonna regret getting rid of so many of your DVDs and stuff. And guess who never has? I value having like a clean and organized living environment over having more stuff, because at that point this stuff no longer makes me happy. So anyway, last up for DVDs, we have a sleeved version of Scream 4. This is a really pretty version. This is something that I would display had I not just been sent a gorgeous new edition. If you want to see that, you can look at my last subscriber mail unboxing. This one's got a feature commentary with Wes Craven in the cast, deleted and extended scenes, alternate opening, extended ending, gag reel, and the making of Scream 4. Now on to all the Blu-rays, some very exciting stuff. Up first, we have Starship Troopers. Now I haven't actually seen this movie yet, but I was recently sent an upgrade. I can't remember if I was sent it on Steelbook, but it definitely was a 4K, so I no longer need this, and you also get a lot of special features. Kind of like so many that I'm not gonna sit here and read them all out, but yeah, pretty good Blu-ray. Also, I have worked with Casper Van Dien before. When I was 19, it was my first time PAing on a movie set, and he was so nice. Next up, this is a funny one. It's called Magic, and it's from the 1970s, like 1978, and yes, that is a young Anthony Hopkins. Probably feels a little bit weird to see him that way. Basically, Anthony Hopkins plays a ventriloquist who then ends up being controlled by his dummy. I just didn't find it all that engaging. I don't think it's bad. I thought that it was worth the watch. I don't think that I would ever pick it up again. That's why I'm getting rid of it, because maybe it will find a more loving home. These really niche movies sometimes can be kind of hard to find, so want to get it in the right hands. Next up, one of my all-time favorites, we have The Return of the Living Dead. I guess I shouldn't say all-time, but currently now it's one of my absolute favorites. I didn't discover this movie until last year, embarrassingly, but this is the Scream Factory edition, so of course it comes with a bajillion special features there. Scream Factory always kind of has the best ones, and I'm only getting rid of this because, of course, I was sent this movie, I think on 4K. Don't remember if this one was a Steelbook. I can't wait. When I move, I'm gonna probably take you along with me while I pack and unpack all my physical media. I feel like there are gonna be some interesting discoveries. Next, this was an unbelievable double that was sent my way, but it's Greg Araki's Teen Apocalypse trilogy, and it is the Criterion edition of the whole collection. My memory is already fading, but I'm pretty sure that I'm holding on to this one because the other one was either a sleeved edition or it was a 4K, but both of them were unopened. So this is a brand new Criterion edition of this trilogy. I'm totally unfamiliar, but now that it's been sent to me, I'm hoping to dive into this year. And you can too, you should do it with me. Ugh, shorter anti-haul today, but last up in the stack, we have a 4K of American Psycho. This one is just an all-timer, almost a perfect film. I love this movie so much, and yes, the outer sleeve is just a teeny tiny bit beat up around the edges. Not really in a noticeable way though, just because I have packed this movie before when I've traveled. You could honestly just like go over it with a Sharpie and then it would look fine. But this also is the uncut version, and then of course there are special features. Deleted scenes with optional director's commentary from book to screen, audio commentary with writer Guinevere Turner, and then also with the director Mary Harron. And then also there's a featurette called The 80s Downtown. If you love American Psycho as much as I do, then now you have the opportunity to get it pretty discounted on 4K. That's gonna do it though for all of the Blu-rays. I'll show you once again all the DVDs as well, but really you can just go and click on my Poshmark and you can see everything for yourself. Once again, we've also got some Scream films, we've got these awesome Back to the Future collections, we got a cult classic, we got a true non-horror classic. This just really, like I told you, this was a really high quality anti-haul today. So sorry that it was shorter, but I hope that nonetheless you still enjoyed. Now I need to go and smear some blood on my face and shoot my top 10 vampire video, so I'm gonna head out. But before I do, just another reminder to check out that channel, check out Haunted Hippie. And also if you want to support me and get even more bonus content, then join the Patreon. You get a bonus video every single week depending on which tier you join. Also all my social media and everything is listed down below. Go crazy, have fun. More than anything, I just hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye!